Okay, hopefully this is going here. Got Blender up. I guess today I'm going to real quickly make a picnic table. Hopefully this turns out. Once again, no rehearsal here, so let's just fly by the seat of our pants. Alright, so I've got box here, standard cube. Make it, I'm going to make it, let's see, I want the units. I'm going to change these to imperial because, well, I live in America and we have a crazy system of measurements here. So, I'm going to start by making this, let's see, we're going to make it a 2x4, make pretty much everything out of 2x4s, I guess, so we'll go, let's start with Z and say 2 inches. Y will be, we'll just make this table 8 feet long. 8 feet. And 4 inches. And now we have a standard little 8-foot 2x4. It's probably going to hold a lot of people. And I guess I'll start out by, since this is, we've made it a 2x4. Actually, we can just do as little work as possible here. We'll use an array. And let's see if it's 4 inches and I want a 1 inch gap. That would be 1.25. Sure? Yeah, that works for me. So we got our, this will form our tabletop. We'll go, I don't know, what, 6 wide? You know what, I'm gonna go 1.1. Bring these down just a little bit. There's not usually that much space in a picnic table. They just got little gaps. 5 look good. 6? 6 total. Yeah, 6 total. Okay. We have 6 iterations. That is our tabletop. We got it about like this. We can actually, we'll shift D and bring this down and reduce the count down to 3 to make the bench. Shift the X, bring it over here roughly. Now you got the tabletop and 2 benches. I'm going to, let's see, one next we'll do the legs. I'm actually going to shift D and X and get rid of the array, so we'll go back to this. Let's see, we'll go to this side view again, rotate X 90 degrees. No, what we need to do first, instead of 8 foot, it's going to get hard. Scale, scale, using S, Z, to constrain it along the Z-axis. We'll bring it up around here. You'll see I won't have to wrestle with it too much. We'll get it there. So we got this. We're going to rotate it, what, 45? 45 seems much. Rotate 40. Rotate 35. Yeah, let's go 35 degrees. G, move it along the X. Something like this. Yeah, sure. Shift D, X, rotate Z 180 degrees. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of that guy. We're going to do this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're going to add a modifier and do a mirror on the X. Yeah, so we're going to go in edit mode, grab everything, Move it along the X. No. 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 Oh. Duh. Let's go back in here and we will go Control A to apply a rotation. Ah, look at that. Now it's back. The reason it didn't do that is because I'd rotated it 45 degrees but did not apply the rotation, so it was moving along its local x-axis along this diagonal. After we applied the rotation, now we get this. So we can go GX, whoop. I don't want it along the Z, right? No. I want it along the X. GX. We're just eyeballing this. You can be real exact if you want. Tab. Again, we can do... You can actually add a second mirror modifier until it... the Y. And we'll do that and bring these out. So we've only made the one leg, but we get 4 by using the mirror modifiers. Hooray! So you can actually go wireframe and take these, and you can grab these, but if you hit grab hitting G, we're going to move it. If you hit it G a second time, it moves it along the edges, along the edges, the original edges. So, oops. You see, like you can't take it out past them. So, but I'll bring that down to here. And same with that one. I'm going to bring it here. Just right there is good. It looks about level for the purpose of this. And same deal here. Gonna select these. I've got it in, since I've got it in wireframe mode, you can select both of the vertices that are stacked up. If this was in solid mode and you went to select them, you would get the front one but not that back one. So we want wireframe. Grab both of them, G, get them just so that's about level there. Got that guy. Yes, sirree, Bob. So we've got those. Now you can take your original tabletop. We'll Shift D this again. And I'm going to get rid of these. This mirror modifier, so we've just got our original 8-foot 2x4. And I'm going to move it off to the X here and just use it as a reference, or a source, I guess. I'm going to Shift D, bring that down here. If you want to get things centered, like if this is the tabletop and you know you're happy with it, sometimes if I want to keep playing with it, I'll actually Shift D, duplicate it, leave it in place, and just hide it. So you can still work with this one and butcher and destroy it, and you've still got your original duplicate there just to use. We'll leave it hidden. What I want to do... Oh! Alright, we're going to take this guy and rotate him on the Y-axis. Hit Y, 90 for 90 degrees, and we're going to rotate Z-axis, hitting Z, 90 degrees. Again, I'm going to use a mirror. I haven't applied these, so I'm going to Control A, apply rotation, and then I'm going to tell it X, go into edit mode. If you just move it around with the mirror, it's based off of its local coordinates, so you won't see anything. You actually have to go into edit mode, select everything, and then go GY, and now you'll get your duplicates. So we'll do that and go 3, GY, bring it basically right against that one. That's fine. And then we'll go scale X to bring it in. GZ. You can be more specific if you want. Scale X. I'm going to bring that in. Just a little bit more. Scale X. So it's inside that. Nobody wants to bang their legs on that. Since it's in line here, and most picnic tables are going to have another, I mean, you can't just attach this. That would not hold at all. So I'm going to shift D and Z and bring that guy up. And GZ right about there. Scale X, bring him in so that it's inside. And you kind of got your really straightforward basic picnic table, really honestly. I mean, if it's a basic one, you could leave it like this. You can actually get more into detail, like if you do, I'm going to Shift A, add. I have enabled things like Archimesh, Archipack, so you can do walls, windows, folders, fences. It's all built into Blender. You just have to enable it. If you want to say, my table's held together with some bolts just on the outside for simplicity's sake. Let's go add cylinder and C's 8. I think 8. 8 will be a standard hex. Yeah, 8. Alright, there it is. We'll scale that down on the Z. Rotate X 90. Control A to apply our rotation. And we will go modifier. What am I looking at? Mirror. We want our mirror again. Tab. Take everything. GX. Yeah, we'll go GX because we're working on the X-axis anyway over here. We'll scale these down because bolts are tiny. If you want them centered on this board, like you know that your legs are centered and you've taken the time to do all that, you can actually hit this tab. And since this board is here, the geometry, the local, or not the local, but the mesh origin is here where this dot is. But if you want your bolts centered on this board, you can actually select all these here and then Shift S, cursor to selected, and it will be at this localized geometry, the center here. You'll see it's on the center on the X-axis and on the Y. Oh yeah, and on the Z, middle of the board. It's usually where most of your bolts and stuff go. So once you've got your cursor there, using Shift S, cursor to selected, we'll go back here and pick these little bolts wherever they are. Alright, fine. I'll pick it this way. Oh, I'm in edit mode. So now that we've got these picked, I can go Shift S, selection to cursor, and that will snap the bolts to the dead center of that board. You can see them inside right now. So we will GY, yep, GY, bring the bolts out a little bit, go back to solid. Yep, there they are. We'll actually GY, whoop, GY, tab, so that we're just working with this. We want the mirror modifier to move that guy. GX. I'll go back to wireframe and just kind of eyeball them in there. Yeah, that's mostly center. Wireframe. Yeah. I'll go back solid. So there they are. If I wanted them on the back here, I could have done another mirror before I moved them. It would have made it easier, honestly, but you can always add it in after the fact and just tell it X on the Y, tab. We got this guy, GY. You'll see those guys come out there. If you want them dead centered on these boards, you can actually pick these boards, and you'll see they're on the center there, so you go Shift S, cursor to selected, pick these guys, Shift S, selection to cursor, the bolts move down there, then we'll go tab, grab all this, which is just A, hitting A, deselect is A twice, go sideways, G, move them up here, 1, somewhere right in there is good, yeah, Z. Solid, tab, done. If you want to scale, like if you hit scale, you'll see everything moves off of its origin for the whole mesh. Otherwise, you can just select, you can hit tab, go into edit mode, select just these, and then bring the size of these bolts down so that it's more realistic and they won't move crazy on you. It will move in the local coordinates and origins. So yeah, there's one bolt per. It's not too hard. If you're using mirror modifiers, things like that, like you can go GX, constrain it, and then go Shift D and hit X and move it just a little bit more, and now you've got 2 bolts holding everything. Oh man, yes sirree Bob. Since we did that, we can actually select all those and go Shift D, bring them down here. And now we got bolts all the way around holding everything. Oh man, that's so pretty. You can, and do more. You could use booleans and use these cylinders and knock out countersink, bolts. You could put bolts straight on the top if you want. Again, even just using this, it's, if you wanted, you could, go. Well, let's try real quick. Let's see if this works. I don't know. I would imagine it would. Why wouldn't it? Rotate X 90. Nope. I got to Shift D to duplicate it first. Y. And then we will rotate X 90. GZ. 1. We'll bring it here. Is that right? Yep, that kept it right. So we got one there. We got another board here. We can go Shift D X. Shift D X. Solid. And now you got bolts on all your boards, all your legs. Everything looks together-ish. You can put them on the top if you want. I'm not going to do that right now. But yeah, so that's all you really have to do is just made one board with its 2x4 dimensions. Is that 2 feet? 0.1 feet? 8 feet? Yeah, well, whatever. Again, it's unrehearsed, I guess. Oh, well. Yeah, just work on making your cube the proper dimensions, 2 inches by 4 inches by 8 foot. Apparently I got that sort of doinked up, but that's really how you do it. That's like a real quick and dirty, easy picnic table. You can see since I just kind of eyeballed it, like the center isn't perfect for these guys. I just Shift D duplicated if I've done it properly and used a mirror modifier to create those. After the array, it would have kept everything centered, but alas, oh well. Anyway, I guess that's it. Thanks.